I'm working with Gary Vee. What?
It's Coffee Social, the podcast all about social media and business. And now, here are your hosts, Jonathan Howard and Mimi Langley.
Hi, everyone. Hi, Jonathan Howard. You were waiting
Hello, Mimi Langley.
He was waiting for me patiently.
Mimi Langley, did you notice that it's been a long time since I've used the cups from our intro episode?
Oh my gosh. I thought that was broken. I thought you dropped it somewhere.
No, who makes it?
La Crusette?
Le Creuset.
I said it.
Yes, it's not Le Croissant.
Oh my gosh. I need to go back and listen to that. Was a hilarious intro. I'm just saying. We had some good times during season 1.
Good times. Good times. Season 2 is a different story.
We were fresh on the market, you guys. We were, now we're like old and haggard. I'm kidding. That's what podcasting will
Speak
do
for yourself. No.
You guys, I wanted to come on here and tell you what, Jonathan, the importance of what?
The importance of listening to your audience. I like to talk about that a lot.
And you would think that it's not boring, like a boring topic. It's an important topic because a lot of entrepreneurs, they have like this idea in their mind. They're like, this is what the people need. I'm going to create this and it's going to sell like hotcakes.
It's going to be unbelievable. Exactly. Everything's going to be great. No.
Not always. Now, sometimes that works out.
Not always. But yeah, there's a little bit more to it than that, let's say.
Yeah. Well, okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to jump into it. We want to give it to you guys. So the importance of listening to your audience, why you should be listening to your audience more often. Okay. And I'm just going to put this line out there and then Jonathan, you take it away.
Okay.
When you listen to your people, it basically takes the guesswork away.
Absolutely. So, I mean, one of the things, and you guys hear me say this all the time, you're probably tired of me saying this, but where is your notebook? You should have a notebook that has every single thing anybody's ever asked you about your business, because you need to be answering those questions. Those are the things that people want to know. So if you listen to your audience and you get that feedback, what do they want to know? What are they asking me? What are they calling me about? What are they commenting on my posts about? Put that all in one notebook. Then you will have endless content that you can create, because you don't have to just create something new all the time. You should be answering those questions and repeatedly answering those questions. So that is the first place that you're listening to your audience. What are they asking you? And that notebook is gold.
Can I, and I'm going to butt in here just a second, because you guys, we will be answering, well, what if I don't have an audience yet, Jonathan? We're going to get to that. So stick around for the entire episode, because we will be talking about that. Don't let me forget, Jonathan.
Okay.
But another thing, like with taking out the guesswork, I think for me is obviously the questions are super important. Like, what do they need? Like, what are they actually needing? Where are they stuck? They can also help guide you, with, what kind of content do they like to see? Where would they like, your Facebook, or excuse me, your community to be hosted on? Like, are they Facebook people? Are they more into WhatsApp? So like, listen to your audience, talk to them, get their feedback.
Yep, absolutely. When you've got an audience, you should be getting their feedback. You should be finding out where they want to go. What problems they have allows you to build solutions that are directed at them. If you know what problems they have and they're telling you, I've got this problem, I can't figure out how to make money off of social audio. Mimi can then go in and say, well, here are 5 ways that you can make money off of social audio. And A, B, C, and D. I've got a product for each one of them. So whichever one you want to do, let me know. I got something for you. So that allows her to build products to serve them. That allows them to feel like they're heard, seen, and respected as members of your audience. And they get a solution to a problem they have.
I think they're all important, but I think for sure, like when you feel seen, I mean, think about yourself as somebody who, following another coach and they acknowledge your question and are like, they answer it even. You feel heard, and it builds that memorable experience. Like you won't forget that moment, if that makes sense. You're taking it to the next level. With that.
And so many coaches, I mean, think about the people you follow. Have they made you feel seen? Do they get you? Do you go, oh my God, that's so me? That's what you want your audience to feel. And that's what you're doing with certain coaches. So think about those things that connect. And think maybe about where your favorite coach was a year ago. Could you be there? Because there's still an audience that's a year behind you.
So and this brings up, like, when you're listening to your audience, they may be requesting these things from you. Like, maybe they want you to tell them, okay, well, has there ever been a time where you've pivoted? Because that's where I am right now. I'm in the middle of wanting to pivot. Can you tell us a story about how you've pivoted in the past? Like, what did you go through? Like, things that you would never even think that would be important to your audience / community, whatever you want to call them.
Exactly. I mean, I shared a LinkedIn post today, I think it was today, earlier this morning, about having an idea that seems so crazy that nobody would ever think it would be normal. And I shared that in the sense that it ended up creating a content series that I used on my Instagram that did really well. And people were over their, they loved it.
Yeah.
So you just never know. I mean, he's going to guess what content series that is now.
Oh my gosh. Don't put me on the spot. I mean, I'm thinking about it. There's so many that you've done.
Underwater mermaid weddings.
Why did I just get a flash of, like, Zoolander? Did you ever see Zoolander?
Yes.
When Ben Stiller is the merman?
Yeah.
I'm a merman.
Who come on, you don't remember? Who planned underwater mermaid weddings? She was a character.
No.
Becky.
Maybe I wasn't following you then.
Yes, you were.
I saw a glimpse of Becky, and then you kind of took Becky off. When's Becky coming back?
Her husband got eaten by a shark, so.
Oh my gosh, I missed this whole series, Jonathan Howard. He's putting me on the spot, but I'm telling you.
I swear you were around for that series.
You did that?
Yes.
I was around for the series when Becky was in her bathrobe all the time.
Yeah, that was the series. At the end of the series, her husband got eaten by a shark.
Okay, we have to focus. We have to go back.
All right, bringing it back.
You guys, we could literally. Have we ever told you how hard it is for us to make a micro episode?
It's impossible. Anyway, back.
Okay.
So, yes.
So hopefully this is encouraging you to open the doors more for communication with your people. And maybe you're wondering, well, how the heck do I even do that? Like, how do I even get people to engage in the first place? Like, what can I do that people would want to give me their questions and their feedback? So, like, Jonathan, I know you have some ideas.
I have some ideas, and we're going to save the really good one that we have for the end. So I'm going to say the first thing you can do is you can poll your audience on Instagram. There's so many ways that you can ask your audience questions on Instagram, do polls on Instagram, use your stories to connect and say, hey, do you want to see A or B or C, yep. C or D? I mean, it's like going to the eye doctor in your Instagram stories, but you could still do it. So there's that. There is, just asking them questions in your post, like, hey, I'm doing this. What would you prefer? You want to learn more about this or this? Easy things like that. And they do actually allow you to do polls in your posts now. Running a quiz on LinkedIn you can do as well, or a poll on LinkedIn. Mm-hmm. So all sorts of places you can ask questions. The other thing you can do is you can just ask your audience flat out. If you have a one-on-one with somebody or a group session with people, hey, so I'm glad you came to this. What would you want to see next? What are you struggling with? Just simple questions like that. Easy to do.
I personally, like, if I'm trying to get them to ask me their questions or, like, what are they struggling with, I love going live, whether it's on social audio or Instagram live or Facebook live, wherever. I feel like there's just something when you're live, it's like people are so willing to talk back to you.
Yep.
For sure, definitely on social audio, but I've even seen on Instagram lives. Yeah.
On social audio. And one of the things that I do on social audio and in my memberships, actually, because it helps me get content, is I hold office hours. Office hours allows you to see what people are struggling with. What are they struggling with? It gives you content ideas, and it allows you to help them with those problems in that moment.
Yeah, I like that whole office hours concept. Very good. Okay, so what if I don't have an audience? What if I'm, like, brand new and I'm still, like, I don't know. Am I even at that point where it's important for me to listen to an audience? Okay.
Yes. First, listen to the few people that you have, because there are people that are an audience almost immediately upon showing up on social media. You'll have that one person that is a super fan right away. We don't know why they found us, but they did, and they love us. So that's awesome. Listen to those people. Next, go into other people's rooms and on other people's social media in your niche and look at what questions they're being asked in their comments and during the rooms and sessions. The comment section of your competitors is gold. It's gold. Because those are questions that are being asked of that competitor that you can answer. And it's giving you insight.
Oh, sorry.
So if I'm me, I would go to Rocky's page, Social with Rocky. I'd go to her page and I'd look and see what questions people are asking her in her comments. And then I would create content that answers those questions. Because I know somebody's asking those questions.
Right. I had to write down what I was going to say before I forget.
Okay, go ahead.
We're trying hard not to jump over each other. But
Yes.
we're from New York. This is just how people talk.
I don't know what you're talking about.
But yeah, like if you have an idea like, oh, like their audience is my audience. Like that's who I'm trying to attract. Like you know, as a business owner, you kind of have this idea in your head, like I'm trying to attract, women 30 plus, and they're kind of like doing this with their lives and they want to be doing this. Like maybe it's busy moms who want to, side hustle and they're in their 30s, then you can go after those people that already have an audience like that. Like what Jonathan's saying, like you're kind of borrowing their audience in a sense. They're not your people yet, but yeah.
You're borrowing them for feedback because there's people out there and they may not be attracted to Social with Rocky, but they have the same questions as her audience does. You want to get those types of people so you can answer those questions. You're borrowing her audience to do surveying and figure out what people are looking for.
Yeah. And shout out to Rocky. Hi, Rocky.
Hi, Rocky.
Also, it made me think of when going back to when you're talking to your audience, like, and it doesn't have to be a big audience, you guys. Just like Jonathan said, you could have a good solid 5 people that are willing to give you everything you need to get going. Right. But it's funny because you might think in your head, oh, I'm serving, women 30 years and older, 30 to 40 years old, and they make this much money and all this stuff. And then you learn just by listening to your audience, this is who they really are.
Right.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like I don't know. There's so much.
Yeah, there's so much you can do with it. And you're learning from your audience who they really are and what they really do. I, for the longest time, was helping coaches, just coaches. And I didn't have it narrowed down to female coaches that are, really in their second act looking for, a way to get seen on social media. And that's really who I help. So women 40 to 60 years old. That wasn't my demographic originally, but it is my demographic. It's the people I help.
So do you feel like you attracted those people, or do you feel like those people were always with you, but you just didn't see that they were 40 to 60 years old?
I think they were always with me.
Yeah.
I think they always resonated with me for certain things. Like I'm very much my age, and I think it attracts people that are my age.
Hashtag red book. That's an inside joke. Okay, go back to you, Jonathan.
But yeah, I think it attracted people that were in that age group, and I work well with them because they do. I think the other thing is the way that I teach. I keep it really basic. They don't need to know all the tech like inside and out.
Yeah,
I can walk them through some of that stuff without them getting overwhelmed.
And you notice that now I'm making this a longer episode. I'm sorry.
You are.
But you noticed that by listening, like they were the ones that stood up and would ask you the questions, and you're like, oh, ding, like a light bulb went off.
Yeah, it was like, okay. And for a while, I didn't want to speak just to women because I'm a male coach, and that's a little bit of a mismatch. But it ended up being like that was all I was attracting anyway. So why not just speak to them so that they get a clearer message?
That's so good. Okay, well, guys, we're gonna wrap this up. I know that Jonathan.
We have one really good tip.
Oh my gosh, there's no wrapping it up. Yes, tell us the really good tip.
One really good tip. So, and actually, Mimi and I learned this while we were at Podcast Movement last year.
Shout out to Podcast Movement.
Yep. And this was to open up one slot on your calendar each month and have an appointment with somebody in your audience or a couple people in your audience, but allow them to book that appointment and just talk to them about what it is they need from you, what they like from you, what they dislike from you, whatever it might be. And that way you get some insight into your audience and what they're looking for.
Which I thought was really brilliant, you know, because, and there are people that will take the initiative, or you can always ask them, hey, I have, you know, this day available if you are okay with chatting with me to talk about the podcast. Would love your feedback, you know, so you don't have to always wait for them to take the action. You could actually pursue them and ask if they have feedback. But I love that, Jonathan. And also, don't neglect your email list. You could still be surveying people through your email list and get some answers to your questions. And there's so many ways, guys.
So many ways, but you should be talking to your audience.
Period.
That's the key.
Don't
That's
ignore
the key
them.
thing. Yep.
If they're telling you, hey, I don't like those red sunglasses anymore, and you're getting like 100 people a day telling you, what do you think about that?
Don't wear the red sunglasses anymore. Unless they're like, they're you.
Right.
They're yours. And then people that don't like them can bang off.
What do you think about this?
What?
Last example. Cursing. Okay, now this is just an example, right? Like some people are for cursing or cussing. Some people are, you know, anti. What if you are known, like you cuss, like, you know, you'll say the F word or drop something, and you notice that you're getting a lot more comments nowadays saying, hey, can you just kind of back off on cursing? What do you think about that? Now, you're listening to your audience in a sense because you're like, okay, I recognize you.
You're listening to your audience in a sense, but you also have to do, like, I don't know that my content wouldn't be the same if I didn't curse in it. Honestly.
I don't see you cursing that much.
I curse a little bit.
He does.
I curse a little bit.
S-H-I-T a lot.
A lot. Or WTF, a good amount.
Right.
So it wouldn't be the same. So if it's a few people saying, hey, could you turn the cursing down a little bit? I would say, probably not my people. But
okay.
If I had a younger audience, like before the 40 to 60, like the 28 to 40, that had young kids that were always going to be around when they're listening to my stuff, that would be a different story. Right. Because most of my audience has either gotten grown kids or that are out of the house or teenagers that are cursing at them anyway. So it's a little bit different.
Right.
But definitely, you know, listen to your audience, see what works for you. I'm going to curse, but
at least I think at the end of the day, like the point is at least communicate with them too.
Yeah.
Like you're listening, but you're also acknowledging, hey, I see your guys' comments.
Yes. I'm sorry that I said.
Yeah. Cause I think a lot of people ignore it.
Beep, beep, beep.
But if you're getting like hundreds of comments about the same thing, I wouldn't ignore it. I would acknowledge it in my opinion, but
yeah, absolutely. And it also allows you to get ahead of the conversation because it could turn into a bigger thing than it's worth. So always stay ahead of your conversation, write your own story. All right, we're done.
Gosh, you guys, what we thought was just small talk. I mean, this is a big topic now that I've opened up the door to the other angle of it.
Yep. Write your own story is another episode.
We should. Okay.
Getting ahead of the story and yeah.
You guys. All right. Jonathan, tell them what they should do.
They
should what they have to do, but what they should do.
They should go over to wherever they listen to a podcast and give Mimi 5 stars. 5 stars. Anytime you review it. If you're over on Spotify, ask us questions, give us a rating. If you're on Apple, give us a rating, write a review, whatever you got. And with that, Mimi, I'm going to throw it to you for where else they can find us.
Well, we're on Instagram, Coffee Social Podcast. We're on YouTube if you'd rather watch us, which, by the way, I don't know if you guys know this, but I've been wearing a blanket in every single episode since we've done the intro trailer in season 1.
She wears a blanket.
Wait, did I wear a blanket during that one? I think I did.
Yes, you did. You said it was going to be your thing, and I was like, your thing is going to be a blanket?
And
what?
It was supposed to also be holding the microphone, but here we are.
Even the people that do the podcast in the bed that you said you wanted to mimic with the blanket have mic stands.
Leave me alone with my mic stand. No, but yeah, we're on YouTube.
Cold.
So if you don't know, I wear a blanket all the time. Check out YouTube once in a while and watch one of the podcast episodes.
See what color blanket Mimi's wearing today. Not just a blanket, by the way. She wears clothes under the blanket.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, you guys. Yeah. Thank you for being clear about that because I don't know. I don't have an important question of the day.
You don't?
No.
What the hell?
Would you? Okay, here's the question.
Okay.
Are you team I would stop cursing if the majority wanted me to? Or are you team heck no, I'm not going to stop cursing. This is who I am. Ooh.
Fuck no.
Gary Vee would definitely say no. That's like what he's known for.
Yep.
Jeez.
Call me Gary Vee.
Oh my gosh. I'm working with Gary Vee. What? All right, you guys, thank you so much for listening and watching, and we'll see you in the next episode. Bye. Everyone. Bye, Jonathan Howard.
Bye, Mimi Langley.
Gary Vee.
That's right. Bye, Gary Vee.
Call me.